What is going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to another episode of Swoop Luke. In this episode, we'll be reviewing that amazing, heart-stopping, heart attack win against Hawthorn. Let's get into it. So before we do get into it, I do have a special announcement, and you guys will be the first to hear about it. I'm not going to release it on Instagram until a little bit later, until I get them in my hands. But I have actually got some merchandise coming. It has been a long time, and I was weighing up, do I want to do it, do I not want to do it, but I thought, hitting 10,000 followers, I've got the rebrand and stuff like that, a little bit of fun. I'm teaming up with the Carlton Draft, a couple of t-shirts, a hoodie, and something extra special. Maybe I'll keep this as a super secret announcement until I get these ones in my hands, but we'll keep that one aside for now. But I will have a couple of t-shirts, a couple of hoodies coming out. So be sure to check my Instagram and follow me there at Swoop Luke for those. But you are the very first to hear about it. So yeah, that's going to be exciting. All the money goes back into Swoop Luke that I make. Not that I'm making a bunch of it, but it comes up on the graphics and all that sort of jazz and putting out more content for you guys. But yeah, that's going to be exciting. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get into this preview. So, on a cold, miserable, windy day, Collingwood took on Hawthorn at the MCG in a game where it was a benchmark sort of game for us. I know we've beaten Carlton, we've beaten Fremantle, the top four sides. How can we go against a Hawthorn side that is currently sort of on our level, maybe not vying for a top 8 spot like we kind of are at the moment, but on that level, new coach, new game plan. They've been exciting, but they've been really poor as well. Beat Brisbane and then get smashed by the Gold Coast Suns. I remember in my preview of this, it was what Hawthorn would we get, and we got the good and the bad Hawthorn at parts. But let me just go through one thing before we get into our pies. Hawthorn are an exciting team. Sam Mitchell has got them playing really good football, and look, I don't really watch other football games besides Collingwood games and the odd one here and there, but the way Hawthorn were playing and they were breaking, there was always a guy running off half back, there was always the switch going through the corridor. They were eating us up at times with handballing links, and it was exciting to watch. And credit to them, but heaps of credit to our defence who just stood up. Yes, there was a time end of the second and the start of the third where they kicked 4 or 5 unanswered goals, and that has been a problem for us. Carlton kicked 4 or 5 unanswered goals twice last week. Hawthorn did it once this week. So that's something that we definitely have to clear up, especially with momentum. We were in front by 30-something points and we got it wrestled back, like the Geelong game, like the Carlton game as well. Definitely something that needs to be tightened up when teams go on a run like that. But the defence held up for the most part. As soon as it turned to wet weather football, we know we played good there. Lots of pressure and stuff like that. We did only kick 3 goals for the second half. We still won though, which is insane. We'll talk a little bit about that later and how we went about that. But the character of this football club at the moment and the way Flyers got them playing. When we versed Carlton last weekend, we beat them by those 4 points, and they kicked 4 goals towards the end of that game, and Jesus nearly kicked the match winner. Early on in the season, and last year as well, we don't win that game. We don't hold on. We lose in dramatic fashion. This game against Hawthorn, early on in the season, and last year as well, we don't win this game and we lose in dramatic fashion. And that's nearly what we saw on the weekend. We have resilience now. Our contested ball is great. The pressure around the ground is great. Trying to hit guys in the middle to create that run into the forward 50. And the Mikhail ball, as I saw, I think the Age called it, which is such a good word, is great. Everything about this football club is great. And we slide into the 8. It's great, and we're in the 8. So it's phenomenal what Fly and the coaches have been able to do in the last 8 months or so. It's a testament to them, testament to the club. The recruiting has been, talked about a lot recently and who we've gotten rid of and stuff like that. But it's not our senior heads that are holding up. Yes, Pendlebury is still a gun through the midfield, and Jack Crisp is still leading us, and Lipinski and stuff like that. Not that Lipinski's old, but it's the young kids as well. It's Ginnivan, who of course we have to talk about later. It's Nick Dacos. It's a coming of age for Nick Dacos almost. What did he have? 36 disposals. Nearly 800 metres gained. This is one of those games where he stands up as one of the elite young kids of the competition. And we've always known he's been good. He just stood up in the wet, I think he went at about 60-something%, so he could tidy that up a little bit. But 800 metres gained is huge. 36 disposals is huge. In the wet, all class. He was hitting them left, right and centre. The way he just does those sort of blind turns, we love to see it. Ollie Henry as well. We needed a miracle in the last. Ollie Henry provided that. I love what he has done since that Western Bulldogs game. He would have dropped his head, that Western Bulldogs game, right? We know that. He had come out the sub against Fremantle, and then Cox goes down. He stars against Carlton, and this time, in the last quarter, he takes a really great mark, and then he misses the goal. Instead of dropping his head, he's back there at the next contest, takes another good mark, and he kicks that goal to win us the match. He kicked the match-winning goal. Bo McCreary comes back in, provides that pressure for us. Lipinski had a bunch of pressure acts as well, Jordan De Goey. I could go on and on. Josh Davis had another good game. I can go on and on and on about all these players. But the fact of the matter is that this coaching panel that we had just spent months and months and months looking for and rigorous interviews and stuff is just working out. And yes, okay, we're in the 8, but even if we miss out on the 8, everyone had us as a bottom 4 side, and look at us now. We are miles ahead of where we were this time last year. I was reading a stat that said this time last year our points for were about 850 points scored for us. At the moment, it's sitting at about 1100 or thereabouts. That's huge. That's plus almost 300 points in the same amount of games, which is 12 games. So that is insane. And you take out the bad West Coast defeat, which I'll never get over. You take out the Geelong where we should have won. And we could be pushing for top 4 at the moment, or at least top 6, with a couple of those wins under our belt. But, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So let's, kind of dive into this game now. In regards to this game, we put 5 goals on in the first quarter, so we hit them where it hurts straight away, and that gave us a bit of a buffer, 20 points going into the second quarter, where we put on 2 goals. Hawthorn did have the run of it for a little bit, but in that first quarter, at one point we were 1 goal 4, and then Hawthorn run it up the field and they kick a goal. The thing with Collingwood, and it's been prevalent for God knows how long, is that not putting teams to the sword, it's not taking our chances when we need to. We should have been 3 goals up before Hawthorn scored a goal. But you go 1 goal 4, and then towards the end of the game you go, oh my God, those 4 points that we missed that could have been, easy sort of goals, come back to sort of bite you. We finished with 10 goals 12. Not that Hawthorn were any better, 10 goals 8, but still 10 goals 12, and the same thing happened to Carlton last week. We just had all the momentum, all that pressure, all that forward entries, and we just didn't make an impact on the scoreboard. And in saying that as well, we had 65 inside 50s, and we went at 38% inside 50s. So 38% of those 65 inside 50s was a score. We just got to tidy that up, and I know that will come. I know that accuracy will come. The repeat inside 50 entries does put pressure on. We had at one point 6 or 7 inside 50s for maybe, I think it was 1 goal in that last quarter as well. So at least, we're getting those repeat inside 50s, that Mikhails ball, as I mentioned earlier, that does help us. We just have to score. And, we didn't have Jamie Elliott, so he, was a late out. He helps us with that. He's a great grummer in and around the ball and stuff like that. He's the one that you can kind of kick to. He provides those leads. He's always going to, or more often than not, he's going to kick a goal when he's got that set shot, or on the floor as well. That does help. It does mess up the forward line a little bit because we know how much we missed him in those games where he was out, and we know what a presence he was when he came back in. So those things we just have to tidy up on. But other than that, it was a great game. I just think I like winning games like this because it is a war of attrition, this sort of game, in the wet as well. Being so far up, Hawthorn coming back, Hawthorn are an emerging side like we are. You need to win these games because, like I said, it builds character. That Carlton win was great, amazing. I do like this Hawthorn win a little bit more because we backed up that win against Carlton. That's 300 trop. We haven't won 3 games in a row since 2019. 2019, right? So that just tells you that we are on the right path. And I said in my preview for this game, Hawthorn, Melbourne, we need to win at least one of those games. That was before Melbourne played. So now Melbourne are 2 losses in a row, and we versed them going into the Queen's birthday. We beat them last year. We have a good run against Melbourne. We had a hoodoo run against Hawthorn, and we've broken that hoodoo now, I hope. So can we knock off Melbourne, make a 4 on the trot leading into that bye, and anything is possible from there. We'll talk about this a little bit more in the Melbourne preview, but anything is possible now for this team. And I just love seeing them grow and grow and grow and grow. And this Hawthorn game was a game where the young kids showed, like I mentioned earlier, they just took it up another notch when they had to take it up another notch. On Twitter, I said, we need a miracle to win this. I think I said that early in the 4th. Ollie Henry stood up. Ollie was our miracle. He was the AFL Player of the Round for this round as well. Hasn't got a Rising Star nomination yet, which is a bit weird because he's kicked, 9 goals in 3 games. That's coming, surely. But these young kids have stepped up, and the old heads are prevailing as well. But anyway, guys, that's just been my review of the Collingwood Hawthorn game. Let me know your thoughts down below. Don't forget, some merch coming out, so keep an eye out on my Instagram. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets, and until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later. Up the mags.